Hi, I'm Emily. I am the founder here at Wildflower Art Studio. We do creative workshops and kids classes. We host events like corporate team building, birthday parties, like baby showers, all kinds of things. So a little bit about how we got started. I used to teach workshops just on my dining room table here in Denton, and I ended up turning one of the workshops into a workshop in a box, which went on the Amazon bestseller list 9 or 10 years ago, and we have to date sold 70,000 kits. Over the past 2 years, we've transitioned back to having more in-person things. So this was like our e-commerce adventure was great, and we still do sell kits online, but it's become less of a focus as we have become more community-driven and focused on building the creative community here in Denton. This is one of our workshop tables, or if you're renting it for your party or whatever, you can use it for whatever. And then in the back, we have additional seating. It can seat up to 50 people if you want to do an event here. We have add-ons, so if you bring people in, you could do clay pottery or watercolor, hand lettering. We have an incredible team here, and that's probably my favorite part about all the changes, was I feel like it's the community of instructors and all the little pieces of the puzzle here that make it what it is. So at one point it was just me, and I was in my house teaching these classes, and I even made all the initial kits. But as we have grown, it's the people that bring their skills, and I do view it like I annoy them with the amount of times I refer to us as like a field of wildflowers, because everybody brings their piece. And they bring what they're good at, and I'm not good at so many things. So if I can find people that are good at those things, it is a lot more successful. My mom is the artist of all the watercolor paintings. Her name is Sherry Jones, so you can find her at sherryjonesart.com. She teaches expressive watercolor. So she combines yoga techniques with creative techniques and builds these really cool workshops. And so her art, all of it has like a lot of depth to it and meaning, but it's usually encouraging people to find their true self. She makes paintings about wildflowers, which feels incredibly ironic that this place is called Wildflower Art Studio. Originally, when I named the studio, which I think 15 years ago, or maybe 20, longer, it's been around for a while, I loved the concept that a wildflower can grow in a crack in the sidewalk. And so it doesn't need like perfect conditions, and it doesn't need someone to oversee and hover every little part of helping it grow. It's just like, let's take this messy crack in the sidewalk and see what happens. And I think we can all learn a lot about life from that, and about art and ourselves. Emily Holt is also a local graphic designer. She helped me with this early on in the wildflower days, but we took a paint blob, like a spill, and she crafted like growth out of that. And so I think that very much represents what we're about, like taking messiness and what I thought was an accident when I spilled my paint, and then turning it into something beautiful. I've always been an entrepreneur. So I opened my first art business at the age of 10. And so I had a little store, like I call it a storefront. In my head, it was a storefront. It was just like a little table and a tablecloth in the front of my grandmother's antique store, and I would just sit out there and sell my hand-drawn holiday cards. And I learned about like taxes and things from her, just like growing up in her store. And so I think like since 4th grade, I've just always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and it's changed a lot just because I think the nature of entrepreneurship is that you're constantly pivoting. It wasn't just 2020 where everyone had to pivot. It's like from the beginning, you just sort of feel it out. You fail and fail and fail, and wins, a few wins here and there, and then you tweak and you just keep, following along that windy road of adventure. And I think my heart is the same from when I first started. It's just the way that it looks is kind of different now. Denton has been the most incredible place to be a small business owner. And especially over the past few years, watching Stoke just really, like, this is super cheesy, but I mean, like stoking the fire of entrepreneurship and like small businesses, and they really do that. And it's really cool to see how this is such a hub for creatives, for entrepreneurs, for like cool new things to start. And it's been really exciting to watch the community stick with us, even though it's been all over the place. And I think somehow it's always well received because I think the community is an incredible place. And Denton is so supportive of our art studio, of every small business here. And yeah, it's been neat.